$200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code STRONG for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code STRONG for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code STRONG.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Can't pass the people, can't pass the hitman.
Hey, good morning, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I tell you what, Brian's with us this morning. Brian, how you doing, sir?
Good.
Thank you so much for filling in. You did a wonderful job, like always. Glad to have you back. I was kind of worried. I texted him yesterday. I can't remember if he's in South Florida, New York. I didn't know where he was at.
I
You were back in town.
I never know either. I just go where the car takes me at this point.
But you were back in town, actually. I
was back.
thought you were gone.
I thought I was going to be gone most of the week. Turned out I didn't have to stay down in Melbourne all that long, so I got back actually Monday night. So
they drew up the new contract. You know, it's going to be the Brian Fill-In Show. It's going to be the name of it.
Well, I tell you what, his new contract, his business, he's doing extremely
I know,
well.
He's driving.
Well.
I'm driving the new car. I saw that.
He's doing good.
Man.
we don't talk about these
It's
things.
Wednesday, and that means Glenn Manley is in here, the legendary Glenn Manley. And everybody's like, what's he going to do now he's out of Bay for good? I said, he'll probably come back in a couple
I'm not
of years.
out of Bay for good. I'm just not the athletic director.
Okay.
Coach, the word isn't legendary, it's infamous.
There's a. Yeah.
I can't pronounce that. I don't know.
It depends on how you say it, too, is the meaning that goes with it. So.
Well, Glenn, we got a special guest this morning. Who we got in
We
here?
do. We have the head football coach at Springfield High School, Springfield, Tennessee, Coach Dustin Wilson.
Coach, how you doing?
I'm good. I don't know about the word special, though. That's some big words thrown out there. You get some different words in that. But, yeah, good morning, fellas.
Well, how was last year's football season?
It was good. We made it to the quarterfinals, which in our world's a week away from Thanksgiving. That's a pretty big goal. But, yeah, we went quarterfinals and got beat by a region opponent and Henry County. So it's still positive, though. You win 10 games in high school, shoot pretty much anything. You're having a successful season. But, yes, sir, we went 10-3.
Yeah, you're doing really well. If you're still playing Thanksgiving, usually you can keep your job for another year. So that's a good thing, really good thing.
Yeah.
Now, I was getting confused. I thought that you were at the school where they had that big statue of Glenn, but I didn't know that school
that's
exists
the state
anymore.
pen. That's the state pen. Coach, they got it going. They do it right, man. I tell you what, they hold them accountable and they're responsible. And you walk around in there's some respect for those coaches.
Now, how did you two get together? You started going playing his golf tournament?
Yeah, I started playing his golf tournament. And I happened to be wearing, I can't say this, Ryan, but it was the other golf course in town. I had on the shirt, and he said, I've been there. And then we started talking football, and I said, well, I'm a kind of retired football coach, and when you're 4'3", they look at you like, yeah, right. So anyway, we just started talking Florida State, and so I had a couple of Florida State things in my golf bag, and then the next year came, and we just, and so then I said, well, I got to come watch you guys play, and so I came out one day, and he put me to work. He said, hey, I don't know anything about kicking, but go ahead. So, but we had fun, and then we've just kept up a relationship, and I like my sister. Cost me a lot of money. I used to stay in Nashville. But this past time I had to fly, rent a car, and stay in a motel. So
did you really?
Yeah, she's in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Bless her heart.
I hope she's safe.
She is. They keep sending pictures like they're enjoying it. So so I just told her don't leave the street or leave the house. But other than that,
well, just coming up,
the water.
Coming up for the Auburn update today, we did learn how to say War Eagle in Spanish, and we will do that for Martha to make her feel at home.
Oh, okay, that's great. That's great. So, but Coach, when I watch those guys, how they practice and how they work the kids. So anyway, they there's that. There you go. So, but they do that, and I was sitting there last time, and some kids were trying to do some stuff on their own, which is a no-no. If you don't have a coach watching them, it doesn't always get done right. And so he was telling them, and he said, there's 2 lessons there you need to learn. He asked him what they were, and the kid told him. And so, those are kind of impressive things that you make kids, do and everything. So
we got one of our favorite callers on the phone. And hey, you know what? You'll love him, Coach. He is a Tennessee Volunteer fan. He's from, no, he's not from Tennessee. Let's ask him. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning. That is a good question. Where are you from? Are you from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Montgomery, Alabama, or the southwest coast of Florida, or from Bay County?
I am a proud Montgomeryan, Alabama. I'm extremely proud from being from the great city of Montgomery, Alabama.
I am a not so proud Montgomeryan, and I got out of there.
We were both born in Montgomery.
That's correct.
Were you born at Maxwell Air Force Base?
No, they took me to a real hospital.
See, I was born in Maxwell.
Hospital,
yeah.
Come on.
Yep, Jackson Hospital right there on I-85.
Yeah.
Wow. See, he had money. We didn't have money. we had to go on the base. They said, lay down and have a kid. But anyway, we got a coach in here from Tennessee. That should make you happy, Mike.
Well, I'm very happy about that, and I'm kind of from Tennessee and Bay County, but now I'm from Arkansas, and I wanted to say rest in peace, Ryan Mallett.
Man.
Guys, listen, that was a big, strong man. That tells you, when you get in a rip, a rip or a tow, you just let it go, relax, and you save your energy to swim to shore later.
Absolutely.
And if you get taken offshore, if you're up above the water, the fine men and women in those white boats and those orange rigid hull inflatables can save you. But if you fight till you're exhausted and go under, and I'm not saying that's what happened with Ryan, but, it's just a terrible thing. 11 people on the Gulf Coast. I know it's not a very Chamber of Commerce thing to say, but, they killed themselves on scooters in Nashville.
Yeah. This last week's been terrible. Drownings. It's been really bad.
Well, we got people dying up here from heat stroke and everything. God. We had a terrible storm came through. It knocked out 100 poles, 660 transformers, and over 2,000 wires down. And it was in a very small area in about 3 counties. It tore up North Little Rock and didn't touch where I live on the south side of the river.
Was it tornadoes? Just a storm?
It was just straight line winds. They had a tornado warning, but and they made a good point. They said when it blows 100 miles an hour, it doesn't matter if it's circling.
That's right. That's right.
Good point.
But hey, Coach Manley.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever? Brian and I kind of talked to boredom about these swim clubs in Nashville. Did you ever ask him if he knew where Sycamore Lodge Swim Club was?
Yeah, I did. He kind of grinned, and I had to tell him where it was. So,
yeah, it's kind of like West Nashville Beach. That's the old Cleesus Ferry landing.
Yeah, that's true.
You know? Yeah, that's kind of low end there. It ain't like, like what some of those other ones I mentioned. But anyway, Ryan Mallett was a good quarterback. He was the best, second best Arkansas quarterback in my lifetime.
He came from Michigan,
behind Joe Ferguson.
Didn't he sign with Michigan? He was a big recruit. I remember him. I think he signed with Michigan first, and then transferred to Arkansas. Is that right?
He did.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Then he transferred to Arkansas.
Yeah, that's what I
played
thought.
with my friend Bobby Petrino.
He did play with Bobby?
Yeah, Bobby
was the coach.
Yeah,
that's right.
Sure was.
That's right. And they played a big Sugar Bowl or something. Almost beat Ohio State. Brandon, am I right about that?
The bad thing about him, though, Coach, let me tell you, at 8 o'clock this morning, there's going to be a meeting at Whitehall High School because he's a high school head coach.
That's right.
So they're going through what Vernon went through last year. It's just really sad. It's tragic for his family, of course, but it touches a lot of lives.
Yeah. It's sad, man. No doubt about it. You never know.
I want to finish on a downer, though, because it's a great time to be alive and be in Panama City with the fishing tournament coming back and everything, and I know that's more the other show's deal, but y'all, I'm walking up here. Coach Manley and Brian will know this. I live in a neighborhood that's kind of a cross between Hillsboro Village and the Haight-Ashbury, and I'm going to get approached by about 5 homeless people who really are in bad shape. But I mean, I'm almost homeless myself.
Just don't give them any money when they try to wipe your windshield wipers as you walk.
Hey, I lived in New York City before before Giuliani, and those guys, those clowns with those dirty syringes. I mean, not well, they had those too, but those dirty squeegees. Freudian slip. Anyway, they I mean, almost got in a fight with one day at a street corner. He was messing with my Mustang. But yeah, I had a car in New York City, and I don't have one in Little Rock. You imagine that? Hey, well, anyway, go Vols. Where are you from, there, sir?
Coach in
Tennessee?
Springfield.
Oh, the Yellow Jackets. Oh,
there
yeah, man.
You know where we're at.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I saw them. They had a real good team in 69 or 70 that came down and played NBA and got the hell beat out of them.
Well, that's easy, yeah.
Yeah, that's back in the days. NBA, Brentwood Academy, that's who all stopped us from our state championship.
Brentwood Academy. They didn't
you
exist
started
in that
it.
year. I'm talking about. Hey, I saw them lose the field a 35-7 loser to my high school, but unfortunately I wasn't in high school then. But anyway, Brentwood Academy's got a great young quarterback, George McIntyre, and his grandmother, his great grandmother, and my grandmother are buried in the same cemetery.
Wow.
Okay.
They might be buried in the same hole.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. There's a whole lot of audience out here that have no idea what we're talking about.
I know. Let's talk about Bay football. Go
All right.
Tornadoes.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Glenn.
Okay.
Bye now.
Bye, Mike. You heard? I love Mike.
I know he's fantastic, but I just never know which direction he's going.
Well, Coach ain't gonna say it, but I'll say it. Brentwood Academy and NBA, they got the best players money can buy.
That's right.
Brentwood Academy, I've heard of that. No doubt.
I almost got to go to NBA. My dad said, nay, spot. You're not going there.
We got to get now. How did you become an FSU fan being up there? I figured you'd be a volunteer fan, maybe a great University of Alabama fan. We got a lot of Tennessee people up there that love Alabama.
Man, it's no telling, really. There wasn't much on our TV growing up. We was out in the fields working and stuff, so I'm going to say it was probably some cool colors as a little kid or something, and then I started getting into football, and Bobby Bowden stuck with me, so I never let him go. But I have been true to him for as long as I can remember, and everybody else in my family bleeds orange, but I'll root for them because it's home, but I've always been a Florida State fan. I can't tell you who they're recruiting or anything like that because I coach football, but if they're on TV, I'll check out what's new for them, and I'll root for them.
When you got a player, you got a big-time ball player, where do they usually wind up going? Most of them grow up being for Tennessee.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
If they got that ability, they're probably going to go to Tennessee.
It's a little different now with social media. There's more opportunities, I guess, for them. But if they're from Springfield or our area, they're UT fans.
Now, how many years you been in the state of Tennessee coaching?
This would be the 12th year at Springfield High School. This is where I graduated from. So, man, I moved to Clarksville from Springfield for 5 years. Unfortunately, it took me 5, but I guess that 5th one was a fun year. But, yeah, I've never moved more than 25 miles away from home. I'm at home.
Good man.
Yeah, the only thing that bothers me, he's got, let's go P. That's it. He's Austin P. So. But Coach Scroggins went to Austin P with Carlton Flat, so, that's the one time they finally beat Middle Tennessee. So he never lets me forget that every time. So, but I tell you what, Coach, they have got a cool locker room going there, and there's all kinds of trophies and stuff up there.
Oh, we're old now. That guy's bringing up NBA or Brentwood Academy now. Back in the day, there wasn't as many high schools. Like it was some 7-0, 7-7, 7-6 battles. Springfield and NBA. Like it was. That's some real football talk right there. If you know what he's talking about, you've been around.
Yeah, Brian, you got to help me out. I'm getting ready to panic. It's doing it again. I think there's a ghost messing with this computer. I swear.
I can't wait to talk about the World Series, baseball.
I think so. I read up on this, and I think I know what's wrong with your computer.
It's old.
It's called operator error.
No. It's called use a sledgehammer, buy a new one.
Yeah, that's what's ready to happen to this thing. Throw it down, kick it.
He might be able to help you.
Yeah.
Dustin's a business teacher and.
I do. I have to teach, and I'm the athletic director.
So you got to teach up there. So the head coach up there say you have to teach.
Yes, sir.
God bless. You need to come down here.
Private school. Yeah, I've been told I could come down here, but I don't think there's my daddy would like it too much. But my brother's on my staff. We live on a big farm. We raise cows and coach football on the side, and
there you go.
It's a family thing. So yeah, I wouldn't be much liked if I moved down here. They want me back home already, and I ain't been down there. I'm gonna
give you some good advice. How many years you got to have in Tennessee?
30. I know what you're saying.
You already got 12 in. Don't leave.
I've got 21.
You got 21. It's retirement. So you can't live. You can't leave. That would be the crazy. I had Coach Billy Lemons down at Vero Beach. He taught me. He said, do not make the mistake I did. He coached in Alabama for like 20-something years. Legendary coach. And Jeff Davis, Montgomery, Alabama, won the state championship. Goes to Vero Beach, highest paid coach in the state. But he had to stay there until he almost dropped dead because he said it just screwed up his retirement. Even though, I don't know why they gave him an Orange Grove car and everything else. I don't know why he was lacking for
We're
money.
very, very close to the state line of Kentucky. There's a lot of people that put their 30 in and go up there
to Kentucky
and get 5.
Yeah.
I mean, I could drive there just as quick as I get to Nashville. So yeah, I'm 21 in. I'm definitely putting in another 9 if I can make it. But
it'll go by quick. I'm telling you, it will. Keep winning those 10 games a year. It'll go by real quick. You'll love that. It's when you're losing 10. It's when it goes a little bit slow.
We've lost 67 to nothing in year 2, so I know all about both ends of the spectrum.
I've been to the penthouse. I've been to the outhouse.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
I know what you mean. You do it long enough, you're gonna experience it all. I tell you something you can experience great. It's Wednesday.
Yep.
J. Michael's Restaurant, world famous J. Michael's Spaghetti. But Glenn,
yes, sir.
If you're in Lynn Haven, Beef O'Brady's. Only on Wednesdays does Pat do this. On Wednesday, they got those 10 big, beautiful wings. I'm not talking about Glenn Manley wings. I'm talking about Coach's wings. Big, thick wings.
Yeah, there you go.
And a drink for $9.99. Where can you get that this day and time?
Only Beef O'Brady's.
Beef O'Brady's over in Lynn Haven.
Yeah.
Get out to either one. We got 2 great locations. One on Panama City Beach, J. Michael's.
I brought my lab apron today for J. Michael's. So
we hose him down after he eats at J. Michael's. It's sad. It's really sad. Also, Stevenson Air Conditioning, Jason, love you guys. Y'all do an incredible job. If you have any problem right now, this heat and this humidity, and you just can't get comfortable, call Stevenson Air Conditioning. Let them come out and service your unit. They'll have the thing running perfectly. I guarantee you that. South Oak Tile and Closing for all your real estate needs. Chuck does an incredible job. Give him a call. Go by and see him. And don't forget about one of your favorite places, El Rodeo, Tequila Bar and Grill.
Yes, sir, buddy.
Yeah. Pat, I'm coming to see you soon, brother. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
Wyndham Clark, though, winning the U.S. Open 10 under. He was 241st in the world last year, the day after the 2022 U.S. Open. But since then, he's won twice, and he's won more than $8 million in earnings just in the last 6 weeks here. What'd you think of Wyndham Clark?
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 89 with a moderate breeze at 15 miles per hour out of the west-southwest. For tonight, clear skies with a light breeze and a low near 80. Tomorrow, a wind 5 to 10 miles per hour, mostly sunny and a high around 92. For Friday, mostly sunshine and a high of 91. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
What's that grin about?
I just took a load off my staff by hiring Fresh Start Cleaning Services.
How'd you manage that?
Fresh Start Cleaning Services allows our team to leave at the end of their shift and not have to stay and clean after a double. They're happy, and you should see the difference having a professional cleaner makes. Plus, now I know exactly how much the cleaning cost will be for the year.
Wow, that would make anyone smile.
You can call Fresh Start Cleaning Services at 850-771-6057.
Broadcasting live from the J. Michaels Studios.
The best part of waking up is
The Coach James Hale Show. Powered by Pepsi. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back.
Yeah, we're doing a radio show here.
104.3 ESPN.
We just gave away the offense.
We're having a great conversation off the air right here. Anyway,
did I shout out to my custodians?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do whatever you want to do. You're going to do it anyway.
They go. Well, they do everything for the athletic fields, and they put up signs and stuff for me, those win signs, and then stuff on the scoreboard. So give a shout out to Donnie and Parrish. They're fantastic. So
well, tell everybody else who we got on the show.
We do
today.
have Coach Dustin Wilson from Springfield, Tennessee.
A big Florida State Seminole, by the way.
Big Seminole fan, absolutely.
How does other coaches treat you knowing you're FSU?
We don't have time enough to talk about it. They don't know.
They don't know?
I might get a little punchline in about UT every now and then, just kind of announce and let them.
Well, they got to be happy in Tennessee now. They beat Alabama. They had a great year.
Things are up, yeah. I mean, we come in on Saturdays during season. Kids are going up to Knoxville to go to the game. And we're in on Sunday mornings as coaches, so the Titans are on in the background. I mean, it's football. If it's football, it's not very often it's not football season around Tennessee.
They love it. They're great fans. Yeah. I want to ask you this: how big's your weight room, and do you believe in year-round lifting weights? Y'all get into it pretty hard.
Yeah, we don't ever stop.
There you go. That's why you won 10 games.
This week and next week we're on a mandated dead period in the state of Tennessee. So all our education-based sports are TSSAA associated or athletic association. We cannot meet with the kids. But beyond that, we're always lifting up.
Go back. Is it because of the 4th of July? They just want the kids, everybody have a break?
Everybody gets a break from it. I mean, you know why rules are made. People abuse them at some point in time. So it was made for the right reason, get away from the kids. But this is the only time during the year.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, it's called a dead period. It's been doing as long as I've been head coaching for sure, back in coaching. But yeah,
what are the dates again?
It falls on the 4th of July week every year and the week before it. So
that's pretty good.
If you look at the NFHS sports calendar, it's week 52 and week 1 of that sports calendar nationally.
Every sport.
Every school-based sport. Now, you're talking about club and all your travels and not associated with the school. There's no rules. Not following those rules. But TSSAA, our governing association, it's a mandated dead period.
Now, what about the private schools? They have to do it too?
Mm-hmm.
If they are playing in
they are in TSSAA.
I like that. The coaches get some time off.
And the kids do.
And the kids too. Yeah,
I mean,
that's a good deal.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Coach, they got a warehouse thing for it's big for a weight room there. They're trying
to answer the question. It's 50 by 100. It's small for the ones that have a lot of money going on. But 1993 we won the state championship. 1994 we got that field house.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
Now it's getting into year 30. It's actually getting a new roof on it right now, and this past winter we got an HVAC system in it for the first time. That shows you how we roll a little bit. It's we can't wait to go back in the summer and work out. Now we're gonna have an air conditioner for the first time. But
now you're one town, one school.
Yeah,
that's the best way. Yeah. That's the best way. You mentioned my hero, Bobby Bowden.
Yep.
What do you think about FSU this year? To me, if not this year, when?
I don't know nothing. I don't know enough to say that. I'm just going to tell you I'll pull for them when I see them, whatever they're doing. I don't. All I can tell you is about Springfield. I couldn't tell you about anybody else. That's just where my time lies, and trying to get home to my little girl and wife. So I'll say go Florida State, but I don't know. I can't tell you who their quarterback is. I hope he wins.
What kind of team you got coming back this year?
Real young.
Did you lose a lot?
Yeah, it's public school ball, so you get what you got in our community, and we'll be a small group of 7 seniors playing in 5A football.
Wow.
Out of 6, so that may mean we for the casual fans, you might win a few more at the end, but we got to grow up. We'll just see how quick we grow up. But a good group of kids, no problems ever. Super group. You take them to church with you, or babysit my little girl, or we'll have a cookout. But there just ain't many of them right now, and that's just how it is.
Do you know how many public schools there are? How many games you got to win a state championship in Tennessee?
It's 15 game schedule, so there are some schools that could get in the playoffs at 0-10. Unfortunately, there's so many, but I would doubt they would win it all. But
that's
all about them 5 at the end.
What do you do to make – here in Florida, we're not a southern state. We don't have districts anymore, and you know who's going to get in. We've got people so intelligent, they watch every high school game in the state of Florida. They know who the teams
I think he
are.
deals with the same thing. I'm not sure.
They vote. Max Prep, you vote.
Oh, goodness. Max Prep's got a hand in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they paid their way.
We have regions. So you have like right now we're in region 7. There's 8 regions in every in all the public school classifications across the state of Tennessee. Yeah. We're right in the middle of Tennessee, like Nashville. That's where we're at. But we're in region 7. Yeah. So it goes from 1 to East Tennessee to 8 geographically. That's how it's laid out. But we're right in the middle, and we're 7. So that just means there's no other schools our size west of Nashville. So here we are, and man, our region next year is stacked. If I said some names, I know all these Florida listeners may not hear it, but your Springfields, your Henry County, your Beach, Hendersonville. I mean, our region. But when we win, hopefully, and go to the playoffs, we'll be playing Memphis schools. Like, there's a 4-hour road trip last year in the second round of the playoffs. We traveled 4 hours in the second round of the playoffs.
We play 4 hours. Sometimes just play a regular season game. Florida's crazy.
Well, I mean, goodness, you got to go around water for 45 minutes around here to get on the road.
But you have to go from Tallahassee all the way to Pensacola, and so you're 90 miles to 100 miles away, and then
and you can get stuck on a bridge certain times a year. But now South Florida's different. Big counties down there, they play. There's so many schools. Like in Lee County, at one time there was like 9. Now there's probably 19 because the growth is so much down there. So the travel's not a big deal, and you just play those teams.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
But when you get in the playoffs, you're not used to seeing all the other things. Anyway.
Well, we're in regions. You got to qualify. We're in a 16, 17 region right now. Top 4 make it.
Where's the best high school football being played now?
Springfield, Tennessee. Well played. Middle Tennessee is definitely picking up if you're looking at recruiting and the kids.
Memphis usually has a lot of players that sign.
That's correct. Yeah, I mean, you got your big metro areas, if you'll use that word, but I'm telling you, we've had some success recently and made it to the end game, and East Tennessee is stacked when you start talking about some football now. They've got it going on.
All right, we got Coach Manley. Guess who we got coming on at 7:30? Dr. Ward. We're going to ask him what happened to our Gators.
Yeah.
That was ugly. Hey, listen, we had him on here Monday. The guy does an incredible job, Dr. Chad Mitchell.
Yes, sir.
Any type of injury, go see Chad. If you love barbecue, where are you going to go?
Let me think. Rudy's
barbecue on Bat Beach Road. But don't forget about the turkey plate. It's incredible.
Right.
And also Max.
He's not fat.
Sports nutrition. I can't talk.
Easy. Max Fit Sports.
Yeah, you know they got one on 23rd Street now.
do.
So all you Bay coaches can get over 23rd Street.
I've already been over there.
All right, we'll be right back. We got Dr. Ward coming up. Florida Gators. What happened? 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents The Blast at Bay Point. Listen to Win Your Tee Time at the legendary Bay Point Golf Club in beautiful Panama City Beach.
You ready to play some high-low? I'm going to try.
Listen weekdays at 8:40, 12:40, and 5:40 to play high-low for a chance to win 18 holes at Bay Point Golf Club.
I tell you what, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to love it.
Listen to Win the Blast at Bay Point from ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
At Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, you can find all the necessary items for an unforgettable fishing experience. From pin rods and reels to the best hand-tied rigs in Florida, we have it all. With the help of our friendly and knowledgeable staff, you can be sure that you have the right gear to make that big catch. Come experience a great local bait and tackle shop located directly off 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach, located just 5 miles west of Pier Park.
Did you know that fees associated with real estate closings are virtually the same from one title company to the next? So what sets South Oak Title apart? Effective communication, customer service, expertise, and technology. If you're buying or selling real estate, refinancing a residential or commercial property, tell your realtor you want to close with South Oak Title. South Oak Title, with locations across the Southeast, including Panama City Beach, Inlet Beach, Destin, and Fort Walton Beach. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
For everything in the world of golf, it's the Watson Report. Thursdays at 4:20 with Alan Watson from Golf Plus. ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
And welcome back to NFL Network right here.
Sure, why not?
We're talking between Blake, coach, we got coach in here from Tennessee, and one of our best teams from Bay High School. Runner-up in the state championship. We're talking about the team that beat them. Southeast, Bradenton Southeast, but Glenn, they had three teams down there. All three had won state championship. Frazier, the great quarterback, Nebraska, went to Manatee, and then you had Southeast and Riverview. I can't remember correctly. I think it's Riverview. So you had three of those teams, and whoever won down there, you had to, you win a state championship, you got to go through that county, and you couldn't do it. I mean, for years you couldn't do it.
They beat us 2017.
And who was their quarterback?
Peter Warwick was a wide receiver then.
That's
then
right.
He came the next year was quarterback.
Yes.
And Coach Meckley said they kept watching us the next year because they were like, oh, we got to play them again. So, you know, what was really funny, we run the wing tee sweep and we get 5 or 6 yards, and we were mad because we weren't getting 5 or 6, more than 5 or 6, and their coach was screaming.
Because they were giving up 5. Well, the speed on the field was incredible. Y'all had a lot of speed. They were unbelievable that year.
You know, the first time they hit one of our kids out of bounds, Coach Scrager said, hey, that's out of bounds. The referee said.
They laughed.
He said, I'll take care of the, S out here, you take care of the S over there, and it's going to work out.
Where was that game played at?
It was played at Daytona at
well, you're lucky. If it would have been played there at their state, you'd have been in a little bit of trouble.
Right.
We're waiting on Dr. Ward to give us a call and ask him what's going on.
That may be him. We're going to see.
I think we got him.
He's got the stats for the World Series.
All right, let's get him on.
Coach, I tell you what.
Go ahead.
When you go in, what I like is when you go in this locker room, how clean it is, how neat it is. And, those kids, they don't wear shoes in there and everything. It's unbelievable. He's got it going. We got him.
Let's take this call.
We do have him? Oh, we have a caller.
We got him. Dr. Ward. What's up, Dr. Ward? How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Are y'all on commercial break?
No.
Oh, man, we're waiting on you. Everybody's wanting to jump you today. You and I, we communicated during the games. I tell you what, the first game between Florida and LSU is one of the greatest baseball games I've ever seen. And then the second game, Florida destroys LSU 24-4. I'm like, hey, LSU, what's going to happen now? They're going to get blown out again. And then the reverse happened. LSU puts a beat down on Florida. They win the World Series. What did you think? Because I didn't talk to you this third game, but what did you think about the whole deal? Give us a little rundown what happened.
Well, at the end of the day, the entire game or the entire series hinged on the 10th and 11th inning of that first game. Wyatt Langford hit a great ball that the LSU outfielder just made a great play on, we almost won on that great hit that was stolen from him. We almost won that game in the bottom of the 10th. You win that game, you win game 2, you win the series. So, I think we saw there that battled in that first game. Then, you got to see what Florida could do in game 2 when they were on. And when LSU couldn't do anything right, and then you got to see what basically you got to see the best and worst versions of both teams on game 2 and game 3. So that's why you play a series, and Florida didn't come up on the right side of it.
Florida had more pitchers than LSU, after watching those 3 games, I guess I was wrong. Talk about that.
Well, the LSU pitchers stepped up when they needed to. They didn't do that all season. They didn't do it in the SEC tournament. They didn't, they didn't have to do it in their regional or super regional. They did it in the College World Series. It's all about peaking and bringing it together at the right time.
Yeah, you were there. We were there in Hoover, and I'll say it again, as we're saying the whole time. When we watched all those teams play, the best-looking bodies out there from Florida and LSU, they wound up playing for the national championship. What did you think about what Coach did, who he started pitching in the last game? Were you okay with that?
Yeah, you got to go with your normal starting rotation, and with Caglione, you get greatness half the time, and the other half the time you get inconsistency, and you got inconsistency. The kid's a freshman, for crying out loud, so he's not draft eligible. He'll be back next year, and he's going to do great things. I think what you definitely see for next year is the Gators have a lot more key components returning than the Tigers. So I think Florida will be, probably preseason number 1, if you ask me.
Yeah, that was a great series. Well, not really. It really wasn't. The first game was great. I was disappointed in the last 2. Glenn, what did you think about it?
I'm going to be nice. I'm just going to say that I thought it was going to be real close the last game. Especially when I found out that Skeens wasn't pitching,
yeah.
I flipped over to Florida on that because I was like, okay, they're not pitching him, and so this could be. And then Florida didn't disappoint me. They started out 2-run homer, and I was like, oh, here we go. And so then it's kind of flipped in the other direction.
In the last game, the first pitch from Florida hit the guy in the back. That made me think we might be in trouble. Ron, what do you think? The head baseball coach from LSU came from Texas.
Jay Johnson.
Texas Tech?
Sounds right. I can't remember.
Yeah. I got to give the shout out to LSU's AD. He's hired Brian Kelly. Look what he did in the first year. He wins the SEC West. He hires his baseball coach. What's he do? He wins the national championship. So they're doing the right things at LSU. And I will say this, their fans were incredible. I've never seen so many people, and they spent a lot of money. They were out there for a whole week. That place was jam-packed with LSU people. They spent over $300,000. And one of the big guys that did it owns, the chicken place in Mississippi and Louisiana? Raising Cane's. Raising Cane's, the guy that owned that, he bought the last 5,000 drinks or something like that to break the record. And after that, it kept on going. Yeah. I mean, it was unbelievable. Over $300,000 spent on $5 shots.
Louisiana's great at football. They're great at baseball. They are otherworldly at drinking.
Unbelievable. Doc, have you ever been out there to the World Series?
I'm not. It's on my list of things to do.
I really thought you'd go out there. I really did. I thought you'd say, heck, I'm going. Of course, you've been going to a lot of different places lately, hadn't you?
Yeah, we were the only people in Napa Valley interested in college baseball this past weekend.
That I believe.
I think he made his wife happy taking her there instead of a baseball game. Oh my God! All right, I'm gonna switch gears with you now. I'm gonna pull you off because everybody was like, "We're gonna get Ward. We're gonna get Dr. Ward."
I was actually nice, so
yeah. Well, here we go.
I mean, really. I mean, how can you get me when 2 teams made it to the finals, and my team was one of them? I mean, everybody else's team were beyond Loserville.
Well,
unless you like LSU, in which case, congratulations, LSU. You had a great team. You had a great season. Florida had a great season. The most number of wins in the program's history this year.
Well,
it wasn't a bad year. I know we returned the keys to doing it next year.
You could be ugly and say, but I know you're not that way. But you could have said, How'd Florida State do?
Yeah, no, they're bringing back.
Glenn, where's Florida State?
They're bringing back Mike Martin Jr. I heard Bill Allen. So anyway,
hey Doc, you know what's great is the only team as a Mississippi State fan that I can say we were better than this year might be Florida State.
That's right. No, but they had the right. I tell you what, between Wake Forest, Florida, and LSU, I think those were the three biggies right there that deserve to be in that area.
No doubt. There's no doubt.
I tell you what, Wake was a great team.
Yeah, they were.
They competed to the end. They lost. I think every game they lost was only by a run. I mean, they're gonna be fantastic next year too.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens to LSU because let's look at the past history. The two national championships before them, from the great state of Mississippi, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. The very next year, they kind of fell apart.
Toilet.
Yeah.
Toilet.
They didn't go to, am I right? They didn't even make it to Hoover?
No. State hadn't made it in 2 years in a row.
And Ole Miss
this year.
This past year didn't make it. Yeah, so.
Straight in the toilet.
I'm going to go ahead and bet that LSU program does not go the way of Mississippi State and Ole Miss. Just gonna make a bold prediction.
I'm gonna agree with you on the prediction, but it doesn't mean I'm not gonna wish for it.
Hey, LSU baseball is unbelievable. Their fans are incredible, man. All right, speaking of fans, Dr. Ward. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I didn't start off the show right. You know what? Is this heat, humidity, everybody's out on the beach, your skin.
That's right.
You know, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. What's the best way, Dr. Ward, to get up with you? I know one of the ladies coming to see you, I think today. I think my wife's coming to see you today. What's the best way to get up with Dr. Ward to help prevent sun cancer?
Well, you can give us a call at 233-3376. You can visit it at one of our 8 area convenient locations at Port St. Joe, Panama City Beach, Waterstown, Santa Rosa Beach, Phoenix, Springs, Bonifay, or Mariana. If you're listening to us yahoos jabber about baseball, you can get your skin checked within 5 minutes and make sure you're cancer-free.
Yeah, 5 minutes can save your life, bro. Right. I'm telling you. And Dr. Ward does an incredible job. I say that all the time. Great people down there. I don't enjoy what he does to me, but I enjoy the visit and the people that work there. All right, Doc, this is the Saturdays Down South. They did a survey. They came up with the friendliest fan bases of the SEC.
Wait a minute. Alabama can't be in this one.
Alabama did not come in enough.
I was going to say.
No. We're going to start. Should we start the friendliest or the worst? Where do you want to start?
It doesn't matter.
Let's go with the friendliest.
All right, the friendliest. And when you look at this list, right, you might question it. Is this the losingest fan base?
It's got to be the same.
Yeah. I'm going to guess.
Vanderbilt.
It's got to be Vandy because all they do is give you seats to their stadium.
Yeah. Coming in at number 1, the Vanderbilt Commodores. Guess who's number 2? The second?
Ole Miss.
No.
God, no.
Hey, come on. He hadn't been there enough. The second one is Kentucky Wildcats.
Oh, bull.
In basketball, I would say no.
Football too. Their fans are awful.
Really?
I'll be honest with you. I'm a little surprised Mississippi State wasn't there because.
Well, you're number 3.
Yeah, they're generally in the cellar, but also just happy to have people in town.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I do remember Mississippi State people being pretty good.
Yeah, it actually is a pretty welcoming environment, unless you're from that school up north.
Dr. Ward, what about Kentucky at number 2? What do you know much? Do you know much about Kentucky? Have you been up there? I don't know about the Kentucky.
Their football fans are very nice, but I would say their basketball fans are not so nice. So I think if they're talking about football, I could see that.
All right, now I do believe in this one. At number 4, South Carolina. They got great fans in South Carolina.
Well, when you don't win a lot, you just have to be nice.
They had Spurrier for.
Well, I'll say this about South Carolina: when they were going 0-11, they still sold out that stadium in 91,000 every game.
But then again, I'm doing it the wrong way. How they treat other people. Now, I don't know. They were pretty rough on the cheerleaders from Southern Mississippi. They were, but I mean, they're typical fans. I'm gonna say they're good. Doc, what do you think?
Yes, South Carolina is very nice. I have not been to Columbia, but when they come to Gainesville, they're super nice.
Yeah, well, that's because everybody's intimidated to go into Gainesville. Everybody's scared to death of those people. All right, number 5, Missouri. I have no idea.
I don't
I've never
either,
been to Missouri. Randy, you ever been to Missouri?
I have not. I've been to the state of Missouri, St. Louis, but I've never been.
I've never been.
That was Misery.
It's the same thing.
Indeed, it is.
I don't have any clue about Missouri. What do you guys think? Is that about right, number 5?
I've actually heard they're pretty welcoming.
Nice. I know some people from there, and they seem real friendly. All right, number 6. I think they got to be pretty good fans. Arkansas Razorbacks. They some good people there. Doc, what do you think?
Yeah, I think you're getting into like your typical SEC fan base when you get to Arkansas. So I think at 6 they're probably among the mildest. Although I go back, Ole Miss is pretty nice. I don't know, but see, I'm going as a Florida person versus y'all going as like Mississippi State or Alabama. So it's different. You know?
Right. And that's the reason we need everybody's input on this. Hey, Doc, we got to take a break real quick. We'll come back. And remember, we stopped at number 6, and that was Arkansas. Hey, man, seriously, you want to look better, feel better. We talked about Jason's got a brand new store on 23rd Street. Go by and see him. Hey, we all out there in that sun. Put the sunscreen on. If it doesn't look right or feel right, and I told Julie it doesn't, she's been on the sun lady, go see Dr. Ward. I've been operated on by him. Down South Florida, they got it made, man. They numb you up, operate on you, send you back out. Oh, we're going to have to numb you up again. That doesn't happen with Dr. Ward. You go in, he gets it. They don't sit there and stick you all day long. Yeah. Dr. Ward does a great job, and there's offices throughout Northwest Florida. You love pizza. Where are you going?
Oh, Paparazzi Gourmet Deli.
It's 3 restaurants for one. The bakery, the deli, the pizza's incredible. Right. Go there. You'll love it. We'll be right back. We got Dr. Ward on the phone, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents The Blast at Bay Point. Listen to Win Your Tea Time at the legendary Bay Point Golf Club in beautiful Panama City Beach.
You ready to play some high-low? I'm going to try.
Listen weekdays at 8:40, 12:40, and 5:40 to play high-low for a chance to win 18 holes at Bay Point Golf Club.
I tell you what, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to love it.
Listen to Win the Blast at Bay Point from ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 89 with a moderate breeze at 15 miles per hour out of the west-southwest. For tonight, clear skies with a light breeze at a low near 80. Tomorrow, a wind 5 to 10 miles per hour, mostly sunny and a high around 92. For Friday, mostly sunshine and a high of 91. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hi, I'm Tracy, your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Shopping for the perfect diamond can be difficult, but that's why I've trained my staff to be helpful and to offer you a stress-free diamond experience. Pick your sparkle and use our easy layaway plan. Every woman deserves an exquisite diamond from your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We don't work on commissions.
We work for smiles and I-dos.
So if you're tired of high-pressure salespeople, stop by and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Take your next adventure in an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. The SUV family has movement that inspires, and we invite you to test drive the new 2023 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. You can command the road in a sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Drive away today in a new 2023 Rio, Forte, K5, or Stinger, and discover the all-new Kia at Bill Bird Kia. 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.com. Peace of mind you can trust at your local community dealer, Bill Bird Kia.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents The Blast at Bay Point.
You ready to play some high-low?
Keep listening to win.
I'm going to try.
The Blast at Bay Point on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Dr. Ward's with us this morning.
Hey,
Lynn Manley's with us.
Listen, they told me you were driving around on your in your car picking up cash from all your 8 locations. Is that right?
I got somebody to do that for me.
Oh, there you go.
He's got a bag man.
Must be a FSU grad.
He's got people.
He got people. Yeah, he got people. And he knows people.
I got people in them.
All right, we're getting into it now. We're getting into the real deal. Now, number 7.
Now we're getting to the nasty side.
I'm gonna be honest now. They are good people. I just have a hard time with the school. You play at Southern Mississippi.
Must be Auburn.
No. I love Auburn people. This is Ole Miss Rebels.
Yeah.
The Ole Miss Rebels. Okay. If you are a big rival with them, it's totally different. But when you come into the Grove, they are friendly. They'll offer you a drink. Come in and visit with them. They offer you food and things like that. Unless it's Mississippi State or Southern Mississippi. So I'm not going to badmouth them. But around 7, does it sound right, Brian? Take off your hat and just.
No, I'm not taking off my hat. Those are terrible, terrible people.
Lee, I'm sorry, but I know a lot of Ole Miss people that listen to it.
Don't candy coat it.
I've told them this. I mean, this isn't new.
What do you think, Dr. Ward? Is 7 okay with Ole Miss?
All I gotta say is that I met my wife in Gainesville. So outside of that one encounter, I hear Ole Miss has the absolutely most beautiful women in the Southeastern Conference. So I think it's they got to be nice, right?
I agree.
They do have they have always had.
There's a lot of plastic surgery centers up there. I agree.
They are some good-looking women up there. No kidding.
Yeah, he's candy coated.
Now, this survey by Saturdays Down South, they usually do a great job. This one here is going to really, we got to look into this one because Jason Kovaleski would faint. And honestly, after going to LSU game last year in New Orleans, I'm not going to say they are. Half of them are outstanding. The other half, I'm not sure about.
What?
Coming at number 8
Not
is
a chance.
friendly. Yeah,
Not a chance.
We'll talk about it. Number 8, LSU.
They won't even agree with that.
That's bananas.
I think we're all.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Hey,
I almost got beat up.
First of all, they take you by Mike at the Tiger, and then that scares you to death, and then
Look, I got to tell this story. When I was working at Mississippi State, we go and we're playing the 11:30 JP game because Mississippi State was always on that game. So we're going into Baton Rouge about 8:30 in the morning on the team buses. And there's they had to have been 80-year-old women out there in all their LSU gear and all that tailgating. And we're driving by and we're all looking out the window like, oh, this is nice. Look at these old ladies out here supporting us. Got a double bird from them. Yeah.
Go Tigers.
Yeah, those are
Tigers.
friendly
Go
people.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I think this is wrong. I would have them way back.
My one and only trip to Baton Rouge, my friends and I ran. Like, we didn't walk to our car. We ran to our car.
I know,
we were afraid we were about to get our butts kicked. By
they enjoy intimidating
rowdy
people.
Drunk Cajuns.
Yeah, they enjoy that. Hey, did you stay in New Orleans for that game?
No, we stayed in Baton Rouge.
Oh, my God. Woo. So we went to New Orleans one time for a wedding, and LSU and Florida were playing. That street was packed out with Florida people. It seemed like everybody stayed in New Orleans that was going to the game. A lot of the students anyway. All right, coming in at number 9, I don't know one way or the other. They've always been good to me. I've always liked their fans, but Georgia Bulldogs at number 9. Doc, what do you think? You deal with them more than I do.
Yeah, they're all right. I mean, I'd say they're probably very similar to Tennessee fans. So let's just say we never get to go to Athens because we always play in Jacksonville. But I've never once have I felt like I needed to run to my car in Jacksonville.
Right. All right, number 10, the Auburn Tigers. Now, you go tailgate there, they're good to you.
I think Auburn's actually one of the more friendly places I've ever been.
Unless you're playing Alabama.
But even growing up an Alabama fan, I always found them to be very friendly. It was spirited, but it wasn't ugly.
But even worse is when you go to Georgia Tech and you're from Auburn.
Somebody ran their mouth at Auburn. He got punched in the mouth.
I can.
Punched in the mouth and taken out of the stadium.
I can guess. Let me guess.
Go ahead. Guess.
Ed Strickland.
Amen. You are correct, my son. Ed Strickland got his butt kicked.
But let's be honest, that's not the only stadium he's been punched in or taken out of. So.
That's true. Ed gets beat up wherever he goes. I think it's the newbies he gets beat up. All right. Doc, what do you think about Auburn? You okay with Auburn?
I think Auburn are very nice. I'd have had to.
Yeah. Now, this one should be up there with Vandy. The greatest people in the world. They love you. They treat you well. They even bring escorts in for the teams and everything.
Louisville?
Number 11.
Hey, stop it.
Number 11 was Alabama. What do you think? I'm going to ask Doc first. What do you think about Alabama fans?
I've always been treated well in Tuscaloosa.
He's being PC.
Yeah, I know. I tell you what.
I grew up an Alabama fan. It's ugly. They should be number 2 behind LSU.
I can't believe Doc folded. Come on, Doc. Tell us like it is, man.
I'm just saying my experience.
They are. They're friends.
Well, that's because you wore an Alabama shirt.
All right. Let's get down because we got to talk about these other ones now. Number 12, Texas A&M. I have no idea. Never been to a game there. The people I know, their fans act really well.
The best part of going to the stadium is watching the drill team at halftime.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that. I don't know, Doc. What do you think? You have any clue?
Never been to Kyle Field. Never.
Okay,
I have no clue.
I have no clue on this, so we'll skip that. Your 2 worst fan for not being friendly in the SEC. Number 12. No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Come on.
Number 13.
Here you go.
Counting is hard.
Yeah.
That's right.
Tennessee.
And no orange sucks like a big orange. I
agree with that.
Tennessee. We got a Tennessee guy in here.
Hey, he's not.
You guys not friendly?
I'm just trying to wonder what the name of this poll is as I listen going down through it.
I'm debating how much I want to go into this because Coach is between me and the door.
I'm not a UT fan. I'm proud to be from Tennessee. But I see the middle of them. And I'm going back and forth between Alabama fans and UT fans.
Yeah.
But I'm still trying to remember the name of this poll, so we'll go with it.
Friendliest list of SEC fan bases, and number 1 was Vandy. Number 13 is Tennessee. Joey Pettis, I hope you're not listening, but Tennessee people can, especially in Knoxville, they can be rowdy.
I'd have them just behind LSU and Alabama, honestly.
And the other thing, too, is you don't want to be sitting up in the top of the stadium because it moves when all those people start stomping and running. Yeah.
They're pretty good about throwing mustard and stuff, too.
Yeah, golf balls.
Golf balls. What do you think, Doc? What do you think about Tennessee? Where should they be?
I think that those mustard bottles have a lot to do with that ranking. Here's all I can say. I went to Knoxville for 1 game, and all the Tennessee fans were gone by halftime because we were beating them 35-0 at halftime. So my experience up there was like Vanderbilt, but who knows? They're a little different now that they got now that they think they can win some games again.
Yeah, they got it rolling right now. All right, I've heard this from a lot of people. You go into Gainesville and you got FSU shirts on, you don't even want to be around them. The worst fans in the SEC are the Florida Gators. And we'll ask Doc first. Doc, is this correct or wrong?
It is absolutely wrong. All I can say about that is, we're probably the least stylish fans in the SEC. So if it's about whether or not we're wearing nice clothes to the game, yeah, I could see us being the worst dressed. But we're definitely not the meanest or the rowdiest. We're pretty rowdy at the stadium, but I bring fans from a lot of other teams with me to Gainesville. We've never had a problem, not once.
All right, when we get you off the air, we're going to talk about Florida. We don't want to do it.
If you want to be okay and be taken care of and not beat up in Gainesville, just wear jorts and you'll be fine. You'll fit right in.
Scott Shepard's one of the nicest guys in the world. FSU Florida game in Gainesville. He walks up there. He says, "Man, they were throwing things at us. They were in our face." He said, "I couldn't believe I've never been treated so poorly." I said, "Well, you may be parked in the wrong section." I said, "Who'd you see?" He said, "Dr. Ward was there." No, I'm kidding. Hey, Doc, we got a break coming up. Let's talk about your fine business. Hey, 1 in 5 developed. It can be deadly. Talk about skin cancer. And what do we got to do to come see the legendary Dr. Ward?
Yeah, so skin cancer is super preventable. Just don't get too much sun, don't get sunburned. And then if you do develop skin cancer, it's very important to detect it early. So you really need to get in to see us. Easy to do so. Just call us at 233-3376. We got 8 area convenient locations in Port St. Joe, Panama City Beach, Watersound, Santa Rosa Beach, Phoenix Springs, Bonifay, and Mariana. So 5 minutes can save your life. give us a call. We'll take good care of you.
All right, Doc. Thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you. We're off next week for the 4th. We'll talk to you the week after that, okay?
Sounds great.
Hey, Doc, what time you want me on the 4th? What time should I get there?
You can just roll in at 6:30 in the morning.
All right, buddy. You have a great week. Man. Thank you. Hey, you want that yard look like Glenn Manley's or Pat Dye Field?
Yeah.
I tell you what you do, call Pat.
Yep.
They do a great job. Turf Pro Pest Control is number one. Not even close. We're talking about number one. Michael Dennison does an incredible job. Hopefully, we'll be here tomorrow. My roommate in Mobile met with him for about 2 hours. He signed up with him. If he turns 65, the guy knows what he's talking about. They got individual, family, group. Matter of fact, he does it all. Everything we're dealing with insurance, he does it. He's the best at it. We'll be right back. You listen to ESPN Northwest Florida. Alabama Crimson Tide. What you've been waiting for. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents The Blast at Bay Point. Listen to Win Your Tea Time at the legendary Bay Point Golf Club in beautiful Panama City Beach.
You ready to play some high-low?
I'm going to try.
Listen weekdays at 8:40, 12:40, and 5:40 to play high-low for a chance to win 18 holes at Bay Point Golf Club.
I tell you what, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to love it.
Listen to Win the Blast at Bay Point from ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 89 with a moderate breeze at 15 miles per hour out of the west-southwest. For tonight, clear skies with a light breeze and a low near 80. Tomorrow, a wind 5 to 10 miles per hour, mostly sunny and a high around 92. For Friday, mostly sunshine and a high of 91. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Sykes Concrete has been in business in this area since 1947, and 3 generations later, they're still going strong. See Sykes Concrete for dirt, sand, rock, and concrete. They can handle any size job from the smallest to the largest. Sykes Concrete pays CDL truck drivers some of the highest wages in Bay County, making $50,000 to $75,000 a year, including holiday and vacation pay, plus health insurance. See Hugh Sykes at Sykes Concrete, 8030 Highway 77 on the right, just north of Southport Elementary School.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WVLQ Port St. Joe.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll Tide, baby. Roll down to Stevenson Air Conditioning. That's what you need to do. Alabama Update is brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. When you walked out of the house this morning, I could feel how hot and humidity. You could just feel in the air.
Yeah.
I mean, you could cut through it today. Yeah. It's terrible. But I don't worry about it at home because it feels great. It feels great in our studio right now. You know why? We all use Stevenson Air Conditioning. If you have any kind of problems, day or night, breaks down, quits, you call them anytime you want. They'll be out there and they'll fix it up for you. They do a great job. Stevenson Air Conditioning, number 1. All right, Alabama Crimson Tide. I got a question for all these gentlemen here in a second and see what their opinion is on this. But I want to, and y'all be fair and don't be ugly. Brian, be fair.
I'm just trying to figure out where the gentlemen are.
Coach is in here. We got one guy.
We've got one gentleman in here.
At least. Alabama, they rank the most dominating programs in college football history. They're right up there, and some of them, they're number 1. Most of them, they're ranked the number 1 program in the history of college football, and in one other one, they were second. And I think Ohio State was number 1 in that particular survey. But there's a reason why Alabama's been so successful throughout the years, and the names are Paul Bear Bryant and then Nick Saban. They have a They've claimed 17 or 19, whatever it is, national championship.
It depends.
However many we need.
Yeah, whatever day of the week it is. I did see where Sears had us number one at one time, so we're going to add that to it. But really, the history of Alabama football is written by Nick Saban and Paul Bear Bryant. Even though back in the 20s and 30s they had some great coaches there, Wallace Wade, Coach Frank Thomas. They've had some great coaches before. Coach Bryant played
Mike
for us.
Shannon.
Coach Bear Bryant won 6 national championships when he was Alabama. He won 323 games there, or actually won 200-something games. Alabama won 300 altogether. Winningest coach in history of college football, won more SEC games than any other coach in college football history. Nick Saban might break that record. If he wins one more at Alabama, he'll have more national championships in Alabama. They're both tied up with 6 right now. Nick's the leader overall in college football history with 7. What was it about these two guys that separated them? I'll give you my input on it. Growing up in the great state of Alabama, but Coach Bryant was 6'4". He was a big man. His voice was different than everybody else.
Yeah, I know.
If you ever saw his hands, they weren't like mine. His hands were huge. I'm telling you what, like cigars coming out off his wrist. The guy was unbelievable. He was a man's man, a physical, tough guy. Mm-hmm. But he had something about him that people absolutely loved him. I mean, he was a living legend in the great state of Alabama. Saban's kind of different. He's kind of like, I don't want to say he's small like somebody else in this room, but he's kind of small like somebody else in this room.
Who could that
be? But Nick is highly intelligent. You talk to him. The guy's brilliant. He's a workaholic. One of the special things to him, too, is his wife. I mean, she does so many great things helping with the football program. Miss Bryant did, too, but not like Miss Terry. But Saban, he wanted to learn that work ethic from his dad. Right. And some people absolutely love him to death, but he's kind of standoffish. He's really loosening up as he's gotten older. He's more, I think a lot better than what he used to be. But I loved him when I met him. I thought the world of him. He treated us really great. But, Coach, you're a Tennessee guy. What do you think what was it about Bear Bryant and Nick Saban?
The hat, right?
And the hat. There you go.
I want anybody that's successful has got their ways and they believe in what they do.
Hold your thoughts right there. I'm sorry. We got a call. We got to take this call. Travis, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How are y'all?
We're doing outstanding. What can we do for you today?
Hey, is Coach Manley still on?
No, he's not. He's not.
No, we're kidding.
We were kidding. He's actually not in here. We got a stuffed doll of him in the voice.
A stuffed munchkin.
Yeah, he's in here. He's here.
I was just when I first started listening a while back, I heard his name on here. I don't remember if he was a teacher or a substitute for one of the classes I had in either Merritt Brown or Bozeman.
He was a custodian.
Bozeman.
I think it was a custodian at Bozeman.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, probably. Yeah, Bozeman. I was at Bozeman for about a year and a half.
Yep. I remember you from there. And I heard that name and I was like, man, that sounds familiar. And then I heard the voice and it's just, yeah.
Yeah, country. Yep.
But, yeah, I thought I couldn't remember which one it was from, if it was from Merritt Brown or Bozeman. But I know you were a coach up there.
Right.
Well, Travis, I know the real reason you called in. You want to give your input on Bear Bryant or Saban. What makes these guys special? You're probably too young to know about Coach Bryant.
Yes, but being a football, loving football, you got to know who Coach Bryant is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I never really got to watch the stuff that he did, but I mean, I know in my generation with being Nick Saban and Bama, it's hard to beat. It's a hard one to beat. I could only imagine watching, Coach Bryant back in the day.
Yeah, we would go when I played there. After the game, everybody would get in line to try to get his autograph and shake his hand. It was crazy, like he was a rock star. And he was the most famous coach to ever coach college football. But one thing I heard another coach talk about, and a matter of fact, I think it was a Coach Carmey staff when I was coaching Southern Mississippi. They said that a lot of the teams that would go into Bryant-Denny or in Birmingham, but they played those games in Birmingham back then. But their coaches would tell, the head coach would tell their assistant coaches, do not stare at Coach Bryant. Do your job. He said, the player's going to be looking at him. You keep your eyes off and don't mention him, anything like that. Just treat them like another team. I mean, the guy there was something special about that guy. There really was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, all I'm going to say is Nick Saban had some big shoes to fill, and it seems like he's pretty well done it.
Yes, he has. No doubt about it. Oh, last night was my anniversary, and I appreciate all you guys bringing the gifts in this morning. But we're walking out, and we're looking. I love looking at all the pictures in there. And I look, and there's a small one. It says Paul Bear Bryant. And he was surrounded by two good-looking women. he was in Captain Aaron's and had a picture of him. And he was, he was older, of course, but that's pretty cool seeing. They have everybody. Bobby Bowden's pictures in there, Spurrier, all Glenn Manley, all the great ones are in there. But anyway, but Travis,
I wanted to tell y'all.
Go ahead.
Yesterday, I done the little blast at Bay Point thing. And I called after I was a 10th caller. I called my work buddy. He's like, he golfs all the time. And I'm like, yeah, I got a bucket of balls to the driving range, and I was supposed to guess the golf score, and I had said 58. And he said, man, you should have said 72. Sure enough, I don't know how he got that right, but he said, you should have said 72. And sure enough, at the end of the day, I was listening to the afternoon show. It's 72.
Yeah, if you're
I should have talked to you.
Yeah, as a golfer, we said 72 because it's so easy. As a golfer, you all know that's the average score of 72 that I play. So everybody's just...
That's after the first 3 holes.
The only problem is there's still 9 holes to play.
Hey, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. We got a winner. We had a winner, so we do that once a week. We thought it would take until Friday somebody to actually get it. So we're going to be doing that again next week, and we'll have another winner. So we got a winner this week. They did guess 72. But I'm glad you called in. 10th caller. That's crazy.
Yep.
Now, can we do that again, like to try to guess?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, until you win. Yeah, you can keep on calling anytime you want. And matter of fact, you know what? You didn't win. We'll give you something today. Randy will give you either a Paparazzi Gourmet ticket to go down and eat a pizza, or you can go down to Rudy's Barbecue and
No, he already won. He won a bucket of balls. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's good.
Thing.
Oh, yeah, can't win for 30 days.
Randy said you ain't getting nothing.
I'm just going by the rules, man.
The NCAA says no way, Big Daddy. You ain't getting nothing else. Sorry about that.
All right. Thanks for calling, buddy.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm pleased with what I got.
All right, man.
Thanks, man.
Love the show. Thank y'all for taking my call.
Thank you for calling back. Appreciate it.
Go Bucks.
Thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
All right. The other question I have for you guys, you want to go finish with that, or because I got another question for you. Go ahead.
Oh, it's all right. You're just talking about somebody successful, man. I guarantee they all had their ways, and you just imagine coaching in the transfer portal days right now. You were talking about LSU and what they're going to do coming back. I mean, that little period of time comes up when they open up that transfer portal. You don't know what's coming and going these days. I mean, this kid may be winning, but he thinks he can win more or pitch more or that position, but anyway, it's going to be their unwillingness to waver from what they believe in. Like, just stuck. I guarantee you, they're some of the most stubborn people in the world, whether they want to show it or not. Success comes from consistency, and I guarantee you, they walk in whatever room they walk in every day and doing the same thing, and then eventually that room starts to fill with people around them that believe in the same thing, and then their room turns into a building, and there goes Alabama and some history about a dude wearing a checkered hat. And I'm not old enough to know anything about him, but I guarantee you he was stubborn and set his ways and did the same thing every day.
He was a man's man. He won at Maryland. He won at Kentucky. I mean, Texas A&M. Everywhere he went, he won. He was. I love watching that movie about him. He gets off the plane going into A&M, beer cans drop all out.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right, my last question for you guys. We don't have much time. Is Saban wrong to talk about we should have made the playoffs? They interviewed him. He is the go-to college football. They lost 2 games on the last play of both games against LSU and Tennessee. But he was on these talk shows, and people were saying he needs to shut up. I don't think he needs to shut up. He said that they were favored by Vegas. Out of the top 4 teams that made the playoff, we were favored over 3 of them. Is he wrong to continue to talk about this? I say no, but I'm a Bama guy. What do you three guys think?
He's only wrong to talk about it if he's the one who's bringing it up out of nowhere. If he's asked the question, do you think you should have been in? Answer the question.
Right.
I mean, I don't like the campaigns that are constantly going on. So if he's leading with it, yeah, I wouldn't do that. It's a bad look. If someone asks you, answer the question honestly. I think that's what he's doing.
Then what do you think?
Well, did he truly have one of the best 4 teams?
I think so.
Well,
but he didn't win. But he didn't win.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So, it's like you say, if we get down to it and we want to get the best 4 teams, do we go the Cinderella story? I mean, you see what happens. Was it K-State? Or, yeah. I mean, TCU, yeah, it just.
Right.
You know, so,
right.
Here's the thing. And, you know, we've had Notre Dame in there several times and they get throttled.
Right.
He's got an argument, and I'm like Brian, though. I wouldn't bring it up to be the guy that starts it, but if somebody asks you a question, you answer it the way you feel. Yeah. And I do think they're one of the best 4 teams, though.
Coach?
Hey, I mean, you sometimes in that gig, you get put on a platform to answer questions. You got to answer it. I mean, imagine if you answered in a different way. You said no,
exactly.
Like, you kidding me? But you guys talking about college baseball a minute ago. There's 8 people that went to Omaha. 8 programs that went to Omaha. Man, again, I'm sorry to say it, but I go back to that transfer portal and these kids coming and going right now in the business that college football is, you're going to have to open it up to more than 4 to get. I mean, look, Oklahoma and Texas coming in the SEC, and you're going to say 1. You're just going to have to get more people in there to figure out who the best teams are.
You said something about these transfers. I'm telling y'all now, USC is going to be outstanding in the future. They got the money.
Country.
They've got the money. They got unlimited money, and they're using it. When you get Georgia's number 1 player, the number 1 recruit in the country, to leave Georgia that just won back-to-back national championship to go to Southern Cal.
Can you make him stay?
Yeah, but USC's thing isn't money. It's access to famous people.
Oh, yeah.
That's where they
go on a recruiting visit and you sit there with movie stars. All right.
As long as they don't do politics, right?
Hey, don't forget today, Beef O'Brady's. 10 wings, $9.99 from 11:30 to 3. Pat, we love you, man. Great job. Beef O'Brady's, Lynn Haven. Get out there. J. Michael's World Famous Spaghetti. Today only. Only on Wednesday. Go try it. Lunch and dinner. It's outstanding. South Oak Title and Closing. Chuck Tucker does an incredible job. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Are you singing tonight? Are you singing tonight or tomorrow night?
It's Thursday night.
Thursday night. Glenn Manley. Be there.
Me and Jim.
Be right back. We're going to do a little bit of FSU and Auburn when we get back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
You know, one thing that bothers me with time wasting is these guys will throw X amount of pitches in the bullpen. I understand if you got a guy up late, but generally speaking, those guys have been warming up. And then they bring them out there and they throw way too many warm-ups.
Yeah, what's it, like 8 to 10?
Something like that. It just takes too long.
Oh, yeah, I think
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 89 with a moderate breeze at 15 miles per hour out of the west-southwest. For tonight, clear skies with a light breeze and a low near 80. Tomorrow, wind 5 to 10 miles per hour, mostly sunny and a high around 92. For Friday, mostly sunshine and a high of 91. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Sykes Concrete has been in business in this area since 1947, and 3 generations later, they're still going strong. See Sykes Concrete for dirt, sand, rock, and concrete. They can handle any size job from the smallest to the largest. Sykes Concrete pays CDL truck drivers some of the highest wages in Bay County, making $50,000 to $75,000 a year, including holiday and vacation pay, plus health insurance. See Hugh Sykes at Sykes Concrete, 8030 Highway 77 on the right, just north of Southport Elementary School.
Barbaritos lets you say yes to fresh. If you don't know what to eat or where to get it, well, fret no more. Barbaritos is here to help with its healthy menu, offering 7 meals with less than 500 calories. Barbaritos has lots of healthy options made with farm fresh food. Your health and your family's health matters to us. Come eat healthy at Barbaritos, 23rd Street in the Stanford Station Shopping Center near Academy Sports. Barbaritos, food, community, people.
Now you can interact with the Coach James Hale Show live in the J. Michaels Studios. Download the new 104.3 ESPN app at the Apple Store and Google Play. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show, powered by Pepsi. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eagle, hey, Martha, Kenny, James Gualamar. I tell you what, I say it to everyone every day. I do love Auburn's fight song. I think it's a great fight song.
Hey. I just like only hearing it here and not on that last Saturday in November.
Baby, you hear it a lot, you're in trouble.
That's right.
That's a great school, great university. We're talking about the Auburn Tigers. And I want you to remember, today from 11 to 1, you talking about the Auburn Tiger you can listen to. Mm-hmm. Ryan Mulvey's got an unbelievable show. They're doing a great job. And you love golf, get out to Bay Point, but he'll be in here from 11 to 1, and they got a great show. David's got a great show also.
Yep. The
Underdogs 4 to 6, then Fine Bomb 6 to 10. Just leave it here all day long. You got it made. And I keep telling all these people out there, hey, when football season, you got to get me on the show. You got to get me on the show. And then when football season over, they don't want to do advertising. I say, do you not realize? You think because it's football season, people turn the radio off? They don't listen? It's year round. Year round. All these people down here for all these sporting events, softball, baseball, soccer, swimming, they're sports people. They come into town, they turn on to ESPN. They want to hear what they hear at home. They want to hear ESPN. And what do? They hear about J. Michael's restaurant.
Yep.
They hear about all these different places. So I go into J. Michael's, and I see these baseball players, I'll talk to them, and I ask them, that's you? Yeah. They listen to it all the time. So it's not just during football season. All right, let's get into the Auburn Tigers. Auburn has had big-time success over the years. You think about it. I always said Auburn's one of the best jobs in college football. The big problem for Auburn right now, you got Georgia, back-to-back national championships. And then the year before that, in 2020, Alabama wins the national championship. That's their two big rivals. They bring in a new head football coach that knows how to recruit, has success with Ole Miss, beat Nick Saban 2 years. So Auburn people should be pumped up. You've already won 2 national championships. You won it with Coach Suge Jordan, one of the great coaches in 1957. You won it again with Gus Malzahn as your head coach, with the same like a quarterback came from outer space and Cam Newton. It was
Gus wasn't the head coach that year.
He was the offense coordinator.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Gene Chiswick.
And they fired you the next year.
Yeah, and now Gene's at North Carolina as the defense coordinator. Yeah. But anyway, you had Cam Newton come in and you win another national championship.
Cam Newton.
They played for one, and they were a few plays away from beating Florida State, winning the third national championship.
But they didn't beat.
But they didn't. In 2004, I think they were as good as anybody in the country. They got robbed, didn't even have a chance to play for the national championship. So look at what else they've done. They've had 2 of the greatest football players in the history of college football to ever play there. Bo Jackson's probably the greatest athlete to ever play football. He played at Auburn in 1985 and won the Heisman Trophy. And I will put Cam Newton up there, 2 guys, hate him, love him, whatever. The guy threw for all those yards. He ran for those yards. He was a freak of nature, 6'6", 250 quarterback, and he did a great job. Wins a Heisman in 2010. Now, Hugh Freeze is here. He's recruiting. And what scared me to death as an Alabama guy, even though I want Auburn to do well, this is going to determine a lot, I think. This is going to answer a lot of questions for me. They're in a heated battle. I mentioned the other day, they're in a heated battle with a 5-star player, Perry Thompson, from Foley, Alabama. This kid's 6'3", Glenn, 205 pounds. Everybody in the country wants him. He's the number 1 recruit, number 1 receiver. This is big. Maybe one of Auburn's biggest recruits in history if they can pull it off. He's been committed to Alabama, but the experts, and I didn't write the guy's name down, there's out there now that he's leaning towards Auburn. He's leaning to sign with the Auburn Tigers.
Need to send Julio Jones down there and talk to this guy.
Well, if he was working at that same restaurant, there'd be a lot of people buying fried chicken. and guess what? When people buy fried chicken, sometimes they give you the little change, little tip.
Yeah,
you know, like
tip,
So if you get a little extra tip and it says, anyway, I'm not saying we would do that.
No.
But if he pulls it off and gets this kid, this is, I think, a sign of great things coming for Auburn, and maybe it's a sign things are slowing down. Because I know for a fact They want this kid in Tuscaloosa big time. He's the next Julio Jones guy.
You know, it goes like that sometimes in the state of Alabama, and a lot of it come down to playing time, exposure, whatever. But I remember after Alabama won the national championship there in 92, going in 93, the top 2 recruits in the state of Alabama were out of Mobile. Both of them went to Auburn.
I remember that.
So you would think coming out of a national championship they'd want to go, but you never really know in the state. And you got to, nowadays, you can't just say they're committed. You got to stay on them all the way through.
You just said something a minute ago, playing time. Hugh Freeze is selling, I mean, he more or less said what he can do, how he fits in with his offense, how they need a receiver right now. There's nobody on the roster near as good as you are right now. This is what you're saying. He can walk and he knows he's going to start at Auburn.
Yeah, you can tell him, look, you go to Alabama and he'd probably start, but he definitely wouldn't get all the targets he's going to get at Auburn.
Yeah.
And to a kid who's trying to go to the league, that may be what he wants to hear. Now, it may not be the right thing for him, but that may be what he wants to hear.
Well, I'm also hearing Glenn Manley Money's getting involved in this. NIL. Any truth to this? NIL, Manley Money, like you used to do?
Well, no. Since
a lot of talk about you and Cam Newton at church, you remember of.
Well, it was a building project. We had to take care of. I mean, you know, it was like.
It was a daddy and the family, right?
Yeah, it was a building project. So home, habitat.
Yeah. Y'all were proud of that. They were proud about that.
Listen. It wasn't true about the computer. I'm just telling you, the guy let him borrow it. That's all I can tell you.
Well, and, if Mississippi State could have actually raised a little more money.
That's right.
Of course, that was everybody in the state gave to that one, I think. We just came up short.
Now, was that part of the building project, too?
Yeah, it was.
He needed that computer.
Yeah, he was going into a logistics class, and he needed some help.
All right. Auburn, now, I don't know. Is this a negative? I don't know. Auburn lost an offensive lineman. Court Bradley has left the program, played the past 2 years at Auburn. He played in one game in 2022. Auburn's brought in 5 new offensive linemen, and I think they're all pretty good ball players, especially the kid from East Carolina, the guy from Tulsa. I think is a pretty good player.
They're bringing in transfer portal guys, like Coach said, and so now it's a quick fix, and that's exactly what Norville's done.
Yeah,
it's a quick fix thing. So,
well, let me ask coaches, because he's been bringing it up, and he knows if you're a player. You've been at Auburn for 2 years. You're busting your tail. You finally feel like you got an opportunity to play. Now, here comes a kid that nobody knows about, walks in there getting NIL money, probably been promised a position, and now this kid's feelings are hurt, and he's looking at us and I'm never going to play here. I'm going to leave. That's what's happened throughout college football right now. I hate it. In the old days when we played, you never quit. You never gave up. You never gave in. You did what was best for the team. You waited your time, the opportunity to play, and you made the team better. That's what we all heard, and that's what we all believed in. Those days are over. They're gone.
Long gone. They're long gone. I mean, that's just like football. You sit down with a kid and get him to realize, hey, buddy, this is football. That guy that they just brought in there paying all that money, he takes one rep off at practice, and he's hurt, and he's out, and you're up. Like, that whole mentality of work hard, get you what you want, it's just not in these kids' hands anymore, and they don't see it. Therefore, they don't believe in it. It's really hard to get them ones that'll get in there and do it for the same reasons you will sometimes. If you got toughness and all that built around your philosophy, man, it's hard to get them to believe it because they don't ever see it. Like, I mean, you take your last best example for the nation to see, probably worldwide. I don't know how much football is, but in our world it is the Jalen Hurts story. Like, look at what that guy did. Like, he gets benched and set behind somebody on that stage and that everybody, and like, I don't know why it's not everywhere. Like, that's what story I'd be putting in front of my kids, but that don't mean they believe it though. So it's tough on that. Those days are long gone. You got that right.
Yeah, I miss the old way. And just like you said a minute ago, they always preach us, you never know. You're one play away from being a starter. Mm-hmm. Be ready, be prepared, know your part. And again, in the old days, when you got that scholarship, that was your NIL. And when we grew up, you got a scholarship, buddy, you did something.
That's like when you ask your dad for an allowance. Well, you got a house, you got clothes, you got food.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Food on the table, roof over your head. Yeah. You know, we go to coaching clinics. It's about, like, Saturday and Sundays work for us. We don't get to go to a lot of games, but, you know, just like we went to Mississippi State, I guess Leach's last coaching clinic he put on. We've been to Auburn. We try to go all these SEC facilities. Tommy Moffitt was a strength coordinator at LSU forever. He's a Springfield High School graduate.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
So we go down there with him, and one of his last seasons down there, we're red carpet. I mean, just walking around. It was a pro day. Actually, the year the kid from East Nashville was at LSU.
Oh, yeah.
We stopped. But anyway, Moffitt's down there. The facilities are top notch. Like it's just crazy what these kids get done working out. And they go to a nutrition bar that's right beside it. And at LSU, they got to warm up. Like where we used to stretch, they push power on a button and they're sitting there shaking on a machine to warm up. Like it is just wild, the technology and money around college sports right now.
He's right. I toured Mississippi State's brand new stuff, and I'm sitting there going, I can't imagine anything better. And I know there's 10 better in the SEC.
You put that poll together, and Mississippi State's at near the bottom of that, probably.
It's unbelievable.
And we would all be in awe. I was. I know that for a fact I was. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
All right, we get back. We got Mark McLeod coming on. Everything you need to know about the Florida Gators, baseball and football. So we'll be talking and visit with him. Let's talk about some of our great people. I tell you what, man, Pat does a great job at our house with our lawn. It looks absolutely beautiful. Turf press control. Pat, you do a great job. Appreciate you, buddy. Michael, I hope will be in here tomorrow for all your insurance needs. We'll be talking to him about that. Also, again, we had Dr. Ward on a minute ago, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. Man, his office is throughout Northwest Florida. Don't play around with that. Go see him. We're right back. You listen to ESPN in Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Carl.
Mustard. Just a little.
Mashed taters. Tell me what movie we're talking about.
Sling Blade.
Sling Blade, man. You
Also knows the James Hale story.
Get out to B4 Braves. Have a great meal day. Is that all what I did? You really screwed my commercials up. Thank you so much.
Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
The road is yours this summer in a new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Stop by and check out the Bill Bird Kia SUV family that is built for all in adventures and endless possibilities. Whether you're traveling on the highways or off-road, you'll do it with grace and grit. Now offering 3.25% APR up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort and safety and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us today at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind that you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance for the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento with $22.22 per month per 1,000 finance at 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 7/5/23.
As a realtor, it's important who you choose as your title company. May we suggest South Oak Title? Their offices are modern, comfortable, and state-of-the-art. South Oak Title can close transactions in any location in Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee. Their free mobile app allows realtors to deliver a net sheet in seconds. They provide mobile closing services to accommodate buyers and sellers. Their offices are beautifully decorated, state-of-the-art, complete, safe, and secure. South Oak Title, creating a better title and closing experience through technology and tailored service. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm not prepared. I really am not prepared at all. I hope you won't judge me on one email I sent 10 years ago.
My apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Live from the J. Michael Studio.
Not after spicier food,
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Go Gators! Yep. It's Wednesday. It's Jay Michael's world famous spaghetti. Then Haven B4 Braves. They got the wings. And on ESPN Northwest Florida, we got the biggest deal around. The man, the myth, the legend, Mark McLeod. Everything you need to know about the Florida Gators, you can learn right here.
I learned something.
Every Wednesday at 8:30. Okay. Thank you for interrupting me, Glenn. Mark, how you doing this morning?
Hey, doing well, guys. Good morning.
I thought you might be on suicide alert today.
Yeah.
No. Now, you set a program record with 54 wins. You get to the College World Series Championship Series, man. It's all good. There's a lot of guys that would have liked to have been there, and really, you just tip your hat to LSU because they flat whipped them.
Say, here's the thing for me though. I thought Wake Forest, Florida, and LSU were the three teams that could have gone either way. And then when y'all bombed them the second game, I'm like, oh my gosh, but Skeens is pitching. Then it turned out he wasn't pitching, but then you started out hitting a 2-run home run. I go, okay, here it goes. And then, it's like you say, it's just you don't know what's going to happen because you're dealing with, kids and stuff.
I want to say something.
No.
Dr. Ward and Mark McLeod,
right,
after facing adversity, after going through something negative, they do what all great men do. They stay positive and they overcome adversity.
There you go.
And I appreciate what you just said about that. You dwelt on something positive instead of jumping on the coaches or saying the players didn't play well. You took the high road, not the low road, not the manly road. So I want to. That's
definitely the low road.
All right.
So Mark, I mean that. I thought that was an outstanding response.
Well, hang on just a second. Now the test is going to come in 2 years. Because, Mark, if Florida misses the SEC tournament 2 years in a row now, you're going to be just like me driving up there to put a for sale sign in the yard.
No, but really, him and Ward both said great things.
I just asked him about, I thought they were, I did say you weren't listening again.
I wouldn't be mean to you. I was just bragging on him.
I know he did a good job. Yeah. See, he learned that, though, from being at Mosley.
Yes, he did. So. Yes, he did.
I did. Winston Chester and that group over there taught me well.
They did. Right. I tell you what, and can you believe he is a school guy?
Superintendent. School board member.
School board member.
Maybe a superintendent. Yeah. Are you going to be the superintendent next?
Negative.
I don't know what's going on. Mark, you going to come back and be a super? They've offered it to a bunch of people. They all turned it down.
Listen, I got too many skeletons in my closet for me.
You fit in perfect then.
Yeah, but mine aren't secret. That's the bad part. But yeah, so yep. Mark could be a good mayor.
He'd be good at anything he does.
That's right.
All right, let's get into it, Mark. I'll be honest with you. The first game we watched, I thought maybe the best baseball game I ever watched, and I thought, man, wow. I was so pumped up for Saturday and Sunday. I just thought, and then I'm going to tell you exactly when they beat LSU 24-4. I was getting ready to go put the mortgage on the game and said Florida's going to win the national championship. Thank God I didn't do that. And it was just the reverse, it's just reversed. LSU crushed Florida. Did you see that coming? Did you have any idea that would happen?
It's funny. I was talking with a buddy of mine about the game before, and I said, the exact same thing could happen today. Mm-hmm. I said, everybody's so excited about Florida just beating their brains in, but, man, I mean, these two teams, and it's baseball, it could flip because Cags has not been as consistent as he needs to be. And as Sully said post-game, he said, look, he threw a great bullpen. We thought we were in good shape. And then he starts throwing, and he comes out there, and he just lost it. And it looked at times, guys, that he was throwing more than he was pitching. And he just needed to be reminded, you're a pitcher. You're not in high school where you're just rearing back and throwing heat. Yep. It was just a tough situation. And, as you said, Florida had the lead. Everything was right in front of them, and the young man just didn't have it. And boy, I have fielded a few text message exchanges and email exchanges and one phone call from people who, Sully made a bad move with Cags. Well, are you kidding me?
Right.
He's the guy that got him there all year long. Mm-hmm. He was their number 3 the entire season. Look, they don't have Pierce Capella. Capella, he tore his shoulder up, and they had to have surgery in April. They didn't have him available. Someone told me, well, they should have started Brandon Neely. Look, Neely's your closer. If Cags is on the way he's been on, even the way he's pitched in recent weeks, Florida's got a chance in that game, and then you'll need Neely in the back end. So, the Kevin O'Sullivan, look, guys, this season he moved into 9th all-time in Southeastern Conference wins, moving past Paul Maneri, Jim Wells at Alabama, Hal Baird at Auburn. That's some pretty elite company.
Right.
And in the next 2 years, he should surpass South Carolina AD Ray Tanner. Rod Delmonico did a great job at Tennessee for years. and former longtime Kentucky head coach Keith Madison. And, right now he's 7th in SEC history in winning percentage. So, I think people he got you where you are. Well, why are you coming down on him, raining down on him so hard? Some of the fans, it's just it just boggles the mind as how stupid you can really be.
Well, and those are people who don't know baseball, because the way that it lined up for Sully was perfect, and it was exactly the right call.
Yeah.
It was, in fact, it was the only call to make. And you know what? Sometimes guys just don't have it. And that night, he didn't have it, and nobody did, and it got a little out of hand, and it was one of those things that spiraled out of control. I'm curious to your thoughts on this, Mark. I mean, obviously, I've wanted Florida to win, for selfish reasons all year, but I didn't grow up a Gator fan. I think this was just a phenomenal World Series, but the last two games just it almost seemed to, I don't know, take it out of me a little bit. You have, and I think it's because we were spoiled by how many one-run games we got up to that point.
Yeah.
And the Wake Forest LSU game followed by the LSU-Florida game, one of the two best baseball games I've seen in a long time. And it did. I mean, I know you're invested to try and win a national championship, but did you kind of feel a little of that disappointment for the games, the last two, the way I did?
Yeah, it was feast or famine for both Florida and LSU in those last two games. It was a very bizarre series. And guys, as we're watching this unfold, you guys probably had the same thought I did, and probably all the Florida and LSU fans out there. Anytime Florida and LSU get together, it's really weird. It's
true.
Weird. The weird is going to happen, from shoe throwing to anything else. I mean, cell phone, from Tim Tebow's cell phone. I mean, the bizarre is going to happen when Florida and LSU get together. LSU leaves 48 runners on base in that series. I mean, the Gators hit 17 home runs, which, for CWS, it matched what LSU and Southern Cal had done previously. But, but the Gators established a record at Schwab Field, that's for sure. So it was just a weird series. It really was.
You said something a minute ago about people jump on a coach and all these comments and stuff. They did a poll, and we talked about this morning, the friendliest to unfriendliest fans. And Florida, hey, it fits right in perfectly. Florida was last as the friendliest. They were the worst by this Saturdays Down South thing, as far as, not being the friendliest people. We thought it'd be LSU, but it was Florida. But, hey, what did you think? I mean, Mark, we got to brag on LSU, though. What about their fans, man? Can you believe that? For a whole week, that many people out there?
Yeah, fabulous fan support. They really do. And really, you look at Southeastern Conference baseball, it's LSU, Mississippi State, Ole Miss. I mean, those are the three, and then Arkansas's probably fourth. But, I mean, and believe it or not, guys, Florida had the fifth, I think, best crowd this year. I mean, the new stadiums helped a lot. They had 8,800 in the stadium once. They had another 8,800 in before, 8,700, I believe it was. So, yeah, I mean, LSU fans are fabulous. They really are. They support their team. And anyone who's been to an LSU football game, if you haven't been, I encourage you to go. And really a baseball game, too, just to drive out there and enjoy a series. Yeah, they have themselves a blast.
Let's put a warning on that with it. If you're going to go to an LSU football game, please wear an LSU jersey or shirt. Do not wear anything with Florida or Alabama.
To be fair, Coach, don't wear an Alabama shirt when you're going to an LSU Florida State game.
Yeah. I thought I was being neutral.
Yeah, you took it from both teams.
That's right. You got that right. No, I tell you what.
Look at all our national champions.
Yes, exactly. He had a thing around his neck that had all the stuff on it.
I was showing everybody why we came really low on this list also. Anyway. Hey, I didn't have a chance to talk about this earlier. Did you hear about Dion? He got through having all those surgeries and everything? Dion said
he had surgery.
Yeah, he had it and everything. It seems like now they're not going to have to amputate his
blood. They were saying it was blood clots.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought about that, but I just did. I'm sorry, I'm having a weird day, but I know you're fair and balanced with FSU in Florida, so that's the reason I knew I could bring it up. Hey, now with next year's baseball, it looks like we got coaching here with us, a high school coach from the great state of Tennessee with us right now. we're talking about these transfers and everything, the NIL deals and everything like. LSU's losing a lot of good players. Florida's got a lot of guys coming back. But it doesn't even matter. You shouldn't even think about that, because you never know what's going to be on your roster until the season starts. Because people are going to transfer into LSU now that they think they can play, and if they got NIL money, they're definitely going to come. I couldn't believe their great pitcher from Oklahoma, that softball team's going to go to Nebraska.
Well, she's won 2 national championships.
And she's from Nebraska.
Right.
So
it's only about 10 miles from where.
Yeah. But, Mark, what I'm getting at, you really can't tell who's going to be good in baseball or football or basketball anymore like you used to could.
Right. Florida is turned out really well. Florida's had 5 guys go in the portal. None of them were guys that really played a big role this year for the Gators. But they could pick up Sheldon, the All-American from Alabama, just a freshman last year, was fantastic. They pick up Kelly Austin, who was All Pac-12 from UCLA. He's coming in to pitch for the Gators. Big strikeout kid. And they got the catcher from the College of Charleston. So that just like BT Riopel comes over, now this guy comes over. So apparently they just want to coach him up at College of Charleston and send him on over to Gainesville from the catcher position. But Florida's going to be good. We'll see what happens with the surgery with Capella. That's going to be big. He's a 6'7" lefty for Florida, but Florida's going to have a good baseball team.
All right, Mark, we got to take a break. We'll be right back with Mark McLeod. I want to talk about a couple things. If you want to have a great time, you want to dance, sing, have a wonderful time, or you want to go to sporting events, get down to Newbies. Newbies 2 on the Curve, have a great time. The Mothership, they got the best bands in the Southeast every Friday and Saturday night. Go have a great time down there. Get out to Newbies 2 on Coach sent you. John Sharp doing an incredible job. Love both of them. Wonderful people. Also, don't forget about Dr. Chad Mitchell. If you have any type of injury, Chad's been taking care of the athletes here in Bay County for 24 years.
That's correct.
And you can listen to him here on ESPN.
He does, but he won't fix if you get your feelings hurt.
He also won't work on your back
That's
anymore.
right.
But anyway, get out and see either one of those. And again, today's Wednesday. Don't forget J. Michael's Restaurant, world famous spaghetti, and Beef O'Brady's. I love Pat. Wonderful man. $9.99, 10 wings. From 11:33 and a drink. You can't get that anywhere. Be right back. Mark McLeod, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida has the real local fishing report. Hi, this is Tim from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle. Join me every Friday at 4:20 during the afternoon Underdogs. It's accurate, detailed content from local anglers, plus fishing updates on Saturday and Sunday morning right when you hit the water. Advice and stories from local anglers. Tune into the Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle Fishing Report, exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 89 with a moderate breeze at 15 miles per hour out of the west-southwest. For tonight, clear skies with a light breeze at a low near 80. Tomorrow, a wind 5 to 10 miles per hour, mostly sunny and a high around 92. For Friday, mostly sunshine and a high of 91. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Sykes Concrete has been in business in this area since 1947, and 3 generations later, they're still going strong. See Sykes Concrete for dirt, sand, rock, and concrete. They can handle any size job from the smallest to the largest. Sykes Concrete pays CDL truck drivers some of the highest wages in Bay County, making $50,000 to $75,000 a year, including holiday and vacation pay, plus health insurance. See Hugh Sykes at Sykes Concrete, 8030 Highway 77 on the right, just north of Southport Elementary School.
You know the break room for the best pool tables in Bay County. But did you know they now serve delicious food? Check out the break room's daily lunch and dinner specials like spaghetti and meatballs, meatloaf with mashed potatoes, air-fried chicken, and more. Plus the best burgers, hot dogs, and you gotta try the Sammy of the day. The break room on Panama City Beach at the corner of Joan Avenue and North Lagoon. For more information, check them out on Facebook.
Chef Ross here. We're open daily at 11 at the break room.
He's a 10-foot-tall, barrel-chested beast man who showers in vodka and feeds his baby shrimp scampi.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Please welcome.
Ain't gonna hurt.
Live and local from the J. Michael Hale Studio. The Coach James Hale Show. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we're back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Mark McLeod's with us like every Wednesday.
Yep.
He didn't just do it during football season. He didn't quit, go home, and football's over. No, he's on year-round. Sports happen every single day. And we'll keep you updated what's going on. The great one, Mark McLeod. Mark, a couple questions for you. Facilities count in recruiting. NIL counts in recruiting. And look at the Florida Gators. One particular thing I'm looking at right now, they're number 2 recruiting class in the country. And you can't tell me that brand new standalone football facility is not helping. And it has to be some NIL also is going on. Give us a little rundown what's going on in Florida recruiting. You got to be
you're
pleased.
Exactly right. Yeah, absolutely. You're right. And Florida finally figured out NIL. They really did. They had a big campaign going on in May, and they matched it. So they had a lot of support coming in April, May. It's been very good. And really, I heard that in March they were doing very well with NIL too. As things were really stirred up with the Rashada thing, it fired some people up. So you had 10 commitments in June. Last Wednesday, they had a big 7-on-7 camp. Some huge names were in town. Jeremiah Smith, the top wide receiver in the country, who's committed to Ohio State, he was up from Hollywood Chaminade. He and his teammate, who's also a very highly regarded receiver. Florida would love to get some more receivers. They finally did get one a couple days ago, guys, which was big. They got a speedster out of the Tampa area. But you had the big 7-on-7 camp last Wednesday. A lot of kids told them, hey, we'll be back. We're coming back. We had a great time. They've got something big going on tomorrow night called the Grill at the Ville. And, Coach, you probably remember that last year. That was pretty big for Napier and Company. Yeah. They invite a bunch of kids in town on a Thursday night, Thursday afternoon, Thursday night for a cookout. They show them the facilities. They just have a good time, and so that is tomorrow night. So it's been fabulous for Florida recruiting. It really has. And just a couple of quick notes. Florida is right up there. Now, nobody's touching Georgia. Georgia's number 1, and they're crushing it in recruiting. But Ohio State, Michigan, Florida are all in that next group. Yeah. All 3 schools have 9 ESPN Top 100 commits. Florida, right now, 7 players are among the top 8 at their respective positions, according to 24/7 Sports. 5 of those on the defensive side, and then quarterback DJ Lagway and tight end Amir Jackson. And 5 of those top ESPN players are listed among the top 65 in the country. So Florida doing very well in recruiting. They got 7 among the top 102. This is the best Florida recruiting has been in years.
Now, I didn't know that. Now, I can't remember the kid's name. They got the kid from Tampa because I know he's a ball player. This kid can fly. So he did commit to Florida. I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he did. He committed to Florida just the other day. Wow. I'm trying to pull up my sheet here to see when he...
Because everybody in the country was after him.
Yeah. Drake Hawkins.
Yeah.
And 5'9", 160. He's a kid down at IMG Academy. Right. So a little south of Tampa in Bradenton. Right. But he's originally from West Virginia. But he's a speedster. He can flat fly. And look, that's what Florida needs. So now Florida with 2 wide receivers in there. The other kid is Isaiah Williams, who's also from Tampa. He's from Carrollwood. And it's looking pretty good. I mean, you have a class of 17. You've got one more guy on the defensive side, so it's balanced. And obviously, we can talk all day about this until they sign. It means absolutely nothing. But for right now, it sure does a heck of a lot to get Florida fans excited.
Well, Glenn's with us this morning, so he's got an FSU shirt on as we speak to you. I wanted to point that out. But I'm thinking about Florida State. They're going to have a really good team this year. Yeah. Florida, we don't know. I think Florida's going to be better than what people think, but some people think they go 6-6, whatever. Yes. With that new football facility that Florida has, that's got to be helping. NIL money's got to be helping. But Florida State, if they pull it off and have an unbelievable year this year, it's going to be interesting to see how this thing goes in the state of Florida, who's going to have the best program, Florida State.
I don't think Miami draws as much because of their situation where the stadium is, and so and Florida State's built, they're starting to get the money for the facility, but I think it's going to be between Florida and Florida State that draws the most. Yeah. Central Florida and South Florida and all those, and all the alphabet schools down there by Miami. But I just think those are the two right now that are going to stand out again, which hopefully will keep Georgia and Alabama out of the state. And Clemson out of the state.
Mark, I've been looking, and another one thing I bring this up too. I've been looking at all these different magazines, ESPN, 24/7, all these different things. They have the strength of schedule. They have all these different things. So I looked at the latest one, and this was CBS, and they do a pretty good job, I believe. But they went by the strength of schedule. And really, you think about what Florida plays. You open up at Utah, and you close the season with FSU, which FSU is going to be ranked in the top 5 or 6 in the country. And then you got to play Georgia, Tennessee. They got the #1 toughest schedule in the SEC, probably the toughest schedule in the country. Look at it. LSU, last year's SEC champion, their quarterback is back. Georgia, back-to-back national championship. FSU's quarterback's back. Utah is going to be really good. Arkansas, people don't realize that quarterback, when he's on, Arkansas is hard to beat. They got a brutal schedule. Now, you do get Tennessee at home. So I'm going like FSU doesn't play a schedule this difficult. These other schools in the state of Florida don't play that. So I just want to throw that in there, Glenn.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I just wanted to put it there. But anyway, what do you think about that, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think there's so much at play for Florida this year. We talk about the NIL, the facilities, all that's in place for recruiting. They're selling playing time to these kids, immediate playing time. That's one of the things they're selling. You get yourself ready to go. You come in here. You do what you're supposed to do. Let us coach you up, and you will see the field early. And, I think that the issues, though, at Florida, quarterback play, can Napier improve that defense? Can Napier and company improve that defense? Can they show some improvement in year 2, which is what he's been pushing all along? When I was in Panama City, when I was in Lakeland, Jacksonville, when I've been to these events where he's spoken, guys, when I asked him the question directly, 2 different questions, he pointed both those questions to year 2. It is year 2. Phil Steele, in his magazine, it was mailed to me last week, he's got Florida at 28. 28. I mean, a few months ago, you would have thought 48.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But so there are, and I've seen a couple other national folks who are giving Florida a little more love right now. So I don't know if Billy's having an effect talking to these guys or what, but he certainly believes they're going to be better than they were. And guys, the bottom line is they better be, because you talked about the worst fan bases in America, and Florida's right there among them. The last thing Florida needs is for the fans to come raining down on their head coach and stir up all the negativity. But that's up to Billy, too, to go out there and make some positive things happen and to have Florida as a competitive football team. No one expects them to win a national title. No one expects them to be top 10, top 15. But they've got to go out and they've got to demonstrate and show that they are a much improved football team, and that there are areas of the team that certainly did not look good last year that look much better.
Mark, we're going to be off next week. I want to thank you so much for coming on. We'll call you the following Wednesday. Have a happy 4th of July. Thank you so much for coming on, and go Gators.
Yeah, let us know if you're coming to town. Unlike Coach, I'll buy you lunch.
Hey, there you go. Okay. That sounds good. We'll see you guys.
Correct. He'll buy both for our lunch. All right, Mark. We'll see you later, buddy. Thank you.
All right,
hey, I wanted to get this in when Mike was on, and I forgot to do so. I apologize for that. Bobby Osborne, part of a duo that came up and recorded the first Rocky Top, dies at 91. He was born in 1931 and died in 2023. And hate Tennessee, love Tennessee. I do enjoy listening to that Rocky Top, except when they play in Alabama. Coach, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate it, man. Anytime you're back in town, come on back and visit with us. When you head back out?
Saturday morning. Hopefully I can get my 2 girls up there at the house and get gone before any type of traffic. But yes, 8.5 hour trip for me. And grass is growing there, and season's upon us very quick. So a lot of things we got to get taken care of. But yeah, I appreciate y'all's hospitality. And dead period happens this time every year, so maybe next year we'll come back down and I'll catch y'all again and talk about another successful season.
Love to have you anytime you want to come in. Brian, are you out the rest of the week?
I'm not even sure.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. Glenn, you buying lunch for me and Brian today?
No.
Then, thank you so much. All right, we're out. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The tradition continues.
That ball is going to be out of here.
America's team plays here.
Bombs